Welcome to She Made That, a series that celebrates creative women. I'm your host, Daniela, and every month I sit down with women to hear their stories, what they create, and why.
She made that. She made that. You're so creative. She made that.
Hi, JstDee. Welcome to the She Made That series. Before we dive in, can you give a little introduction of who you are and what you create?
Hey, thank you for having me on your show. I am Just D, a motivational self help author, international vocalist, and entrepreneur. I am also the creator of my 5 season series that uses metaphors of life seasons to guide readers through personal growth, resilience, and self development. I am honored to have won the International Impact Book Award in 4 categories, and I blend powerful stories with soul healing music to inspire an audience around the globe. As a entrepreneur as well as a singer, my ultimate goal is to make sure that healing is done in the long run through seasons.
Okay, so you're an author and also a musician. That's pretty cool. If you don't mind me asking, what made you decide to create motivational content? Did you at one point find that you were lacking in certain areas, which in turn allowed you to create something meaningful?
That is a great question. Um, I wouldn't say that I was lacking in certain areas. I would say more so that I seen a lot of others lacking in certain areas, not seeing their full potential, where they're growing, even down to the small things. One thing in one of my journals I always try to stress is to pretty much compliment or encourage or celebrate the little things that happen in your life. It could be anything small. You could have got an A in your algebra test. Celebrate that. You could have passed, your certification for IT. Celebrate that. Once you celebrate it and you give yourself that dopamine that, hey, that's self-love. I did it. Then you move on to the next thing. So it was mainly just seeing that others was not celebrating themselves, as well as seeing that others don't wasn't understanding the process to how to understand what their purpose was in life. Because a lot of us don't understand what our purpose is. We go through so much pain, but in all actuality, our pain gets us to our purpose. But our pain is not something that stays there. It moves, and it moves to help you move to say, okay, I have pain here, but I know it's for a greater cause. This is not this trouble that's happening right now, it's not going to last. It's just gearing me to that next level, that next season. And so that's the reason why I started making motivational content because I wanted people to understand that you don't have to stay where you at. You can move. Little steps work for the best. Making big steps work as well too, but some of us need those little small steps to help us get to that next level. And I was one of those people. Small steps got me to where I am right now. First it started me collecting quotes. Then it started me writing them down. And next thing you know, I said, okay, let me create a little journal, to help, myself understand and to focus. And then next thing you know, it was like, hey, you know what? Make a series. Cause if these journals are helping yourself, I know it can help many others. And the feedback that I have gotten has been tremendously amazing. But all this started from me seeing that the small things were not being celebrated. The small things was not being celebrated, and I wanted to help people to understand it's okay to celebrate the small things in life.
I agree with you 100%. It's such a beautiful perspective to have to view our negative experiences with light at the end of the tunnel, like so long as we are patient in our healing, right? Like sometimes when people are in a dark place, all they have is the little things. So when you say it's important to celebrate them, it makes all the difference. That's really, really powerful. Um, Now I'd like to talk about the music side of you. Do you follow a specific genre or do you like to experiment with different styles?
So that is a great question. So my genre is I call it R&G, rhythm and gospel. It's a mixture of rhythm and blues, R&B, as well as gospel, spiritual, uplifting, speaking to the Most High, whoever people believe in, whether it's God, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, you know, it's just that spirituality type of love in music. So that's what my music is all about. So I call it R&G.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting combination. Personally, I love spiritual music, so I'd love to check it out. Um, where can my listeners, as well as myself, find your music? And do you have a website that has all your publications listed on?
Oh, yes. So I do have a website. It's www.everythingjustd.com. As far as my music, you can find on all platforms. If you Google Just D, JstDee, you'll see Apple Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio. So I'm all over the music platforms. But yes, please check it out. I would love to hear um your feedback as well as your listeners' feedback. I will be coming out with some new music um towards the end of this year. So definitely excited about getting back into the studio and everything.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode. I'm looking forward to listening to your music. Keep doing what you're doing and take care.
Thank you so very much for having me on your show. I'm looking forward to continue to collaborate with you and your audience. I definitely want to leave your audience with this. Don't let your past dictate your future. Continue to strive forward, and I guarantee you that your success will never be unlimited. Yes, D. God bless.
She made that. She made that. You're so creative. She made that.